T-Swift's new album has dropped. She is slamming Kanye and confirming which A-list couple's baby lent her little voice to one of the songs.
Hollywood reacts to bombshell Louis C.K. sexual misconduct allegations.
The Thunder is a-rollin'. Miranda Lambert's boyfriend slamming Garth Brooks for lip-syncing at the CMA Awards.
A Richie red carpet reunion. We'll tell you what brought Lionel and Sophia together for their first joint carpet appearance in 3 years.
Her affectionate name for me was, she would say, "Come here, fatty." Come.
The cast of Murder on the Orient Express has the most amazing stories about working with Dame Judi Dench.
The stars are casting their votes for who should take the top title and become this year's sexiest man alive.
I think that would be hilarious to see me on the cover going, "I am the sexiest man alive."
Good morning, Facebook Live and People.com. Welcome to People Now. Happy Friday, everyone! Woo! We are excited because it's Friday, and it's Veterans Day tomorrow, November 11th. So we want to know, what veteran will you be celebrating this weekend? That's our Facebook question of the day. Be sure to let us know in your answers in the comments below. But first, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. Taylor Swift's highly anticipated album, Reputation, officially dropped late last night, and boy, is she spilling that tea, Swift tea. In a biting new track called This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, Swift fires back at last summer's infamous Kanye West feud after Kim Kardashian leaked an edited phone call between the Grammy winner and her husband. But now, it's Swift's turn to tell her side of the story. Singing in the new track, "It was so nice being friends again. There, I was giving you a second chance, but you stabbed me in the back while shaking my hand." The star also appears to touch on West's fizzled relationship with Jay-Z, everybody. Last summer, Kanye spoke out against his rapper BFF during a viral concert rant in Sacramento. Jay-Z addressed the, quote, hurtful comments during a radio show appearance soon after that, saying Kanye knows he crossed the line. Swift calls out West's shadiness toward his supposed friends, singing, "But I'm not the only friend you've lost lately, if only you weren't so shady." As for a chance of reconciliation between Swift and Kanye, it seems like the former frenemies are never, ever getting back together, like ever. That's impossible not to do. It really is. Swift sings at the end of the track, "Because forgiveness is a nice thing to do, but I can't even say it with a straight face." Leave it to Taylor to tell it like it is. But the truth bombs, they don't stop there. Listen to this.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, so there you go. You caught that, the little voice there. Looks like we finally know the baby voice included in T-Swift's latest love song, Gorgeous. And it's 2-year-old James Reynolds. The oldest child of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is officially credited on the single. It's really no surprise since both Ryan and Blake were active members of Swift's elite squad. Last summer, the trio celebrated 4th of July at the singer's home in Rhode Island. And as if that wasn't confirmation enough, the married couple's names are also featured in the Look What You Made Me Do music video. As for little James, the 2-year-old is already featured on a hit song and clearly an honorary member of Swift's squad. What am I doing wrong here? How can I get in on that? But you go, James. Off to a good start at 2 years old. Members of Hollywood are voicing their outrage on social media about the sexual misconduct allegations brought against Louis C.K. in a New York Times article published on Thursday. 5 women accused the actor and comedian of sexual misconduct, including recounting incidents of C.K. masturbating in front of them. C.K.'s publicist told The Times his client would not comment on the accusations, but other stars are reacting in the wake of those allegations. Busy Phillips tweeting, "Bleeping disgusting predatory creeps. I hope they're all terrified." Jason Alexander tweeting, "Gentlemen, comedy is often inappropriate. It is sometimes daring and audacious and shocking, but our behavior in the real world toward women, that doesn't get a pass on inappropriate." And Mike Schur, creator of shows like Parks and Rec and The Good Place, apologizing on his Twitter for employing CK in 6 episodes of Parks and Rec between 2009 and 2012, despite having heard rumors and allegations against him even then. Judd Apatow tweeting in part, "When you disrespect and sexually harass young, vulnerable people, you become a dream killer." The New York premiere of Louis C.K.'s movie I Love You Daddy was canceled on Thursday, and his appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which was scheduled to tape today, was also canceled. Well, guys, Miranda Lambert's boyfriend, fellow musician Anderson East, has a bone to pick with someone in the country community, the one and only Garth Brooks. East apparently was not impressed with Garth Brooks' decision to lip sync at the CMA Awards Wednesday night, writing on Instagram Thursday that he was offended that Brooks did not sing live. He writes, quote, "I keep a lot of my opinions to myself and respect anyone making music, but as a person who tries to put on the best and most honest show I can night after night, this truly offends me." He continued, "I was told country music is 3 chords and the truth." Brooks took home the trophy for Entertainer of the Year Wednesday night and explained to reporters backstage that his decision to lip sync his song Ask Me How I Know came from being in the middle of a grueling tour, sometimes performing 12 shows in just 10 days' time. Brooks said after all that singing, quote, "The voice just isn't there anymore, and you want to represent country music as best you can." And while accepting his award, Brooks thanked his friends and included Lambert in his speech, calling her and others, quote, "family." East and Lambert have been dating since September 2015, about 3 months after she and ex Blake Shelton announced that they were separating. And happy birthday, by the way, to Miranda. The country superstar turns 34 years old today, so we hope she has a great day and doesn't let any of this lip-syncing drama rain on her birthday parade.
Well, happy birthday to her.
Yeah.
Some good news in that.
There's good news. They're going to be fine. I think everyone's
I know, it's going to be fine. All right, let's check in with Facebook Live with Veterans Day coming up tomorrow. We're asking you guys, what veteran will you be celebrating? Shayna says, "My father-in-law is a retired veteran, and he is amazing. He was in the U.S. Air Force for 20 years and has been overseas most of that time. I admire and respect him and his bravery." Yeah,
all right,
great.
and Jacqueline says, "My granddad, a World War II vet."
Wow.
So there you go. Keep the comments coming in. We'll get back to you again very soon. But first, Andrea, you have more for us in Star Trek
Yes,
today.
a fun family outing. We're kicking off Star Trek with a pretty famous father-daughter date. Sophia Richie has not been spotted alongside her famous dad, Lionel Richie, since confirming her relationship with infamous Kardashian baby daddy, Scott Disick. But the pair officially stepped out arm in arm on Thursday night, marking their first red carpet appearance together in 3 years. Lionel received the Recording Artist Inspiration Honor at the SAG-AFTRA Awards, and Sophia was one proud daughter, sharing on Instagram, "You're gonna kill it tonight. So proud of you, Lionel Richie. Love you." The father-daughter outing follows Sophia's recent trip to Mexico with 34-year-old Disick. According to one source, Lionel does not approve of his daughter's relationship with the self-proclaimed playboy and thinks Scott is, quote, "the worst person she could ever see." It goes on to say Lionel thinks she should have more respect for herself as a young woman. He doesn't want to see his daughter get hurt. Well, looks like they buried the hatchet for last night at least, so glad to see that. Well, when Colton Haynes and Jeff Latham tied the knot on October 27th, they spared no expense. I mean, have you seen all of the flowers? It was a lot. So when we found out that American Horror Stories' Cheyenne Jackson actually got to go to the wedding of the year, Jeremy had to ask him what was the best part of the night.
Colton is just such a lovely soul from Kansas. He's like my little brother. We've become really close, and his family, his dad gave such a sweet speech, and his brother, and it was, the family aspect of it was what was really touching to me.
Very, very sweet. But let's get to the good stuff, like who cut a rug on the dance floor the most during the reception. We have to know it. Was it Sofia Vergara or maybe the ceremony's officiant, Kris Jenner? Nope, you'll never guess which politician's daughter danced the night away with Cheyenne.
I mean, I danced all night with Chelsea Clinton.
Wow.
I know. She cuts a rug.
Really?
You would be surprised. Her and her husband are just the best, and they have a 15-month-old, and so we talked about kids all night.
That's the thing you do, right?
Sleep schedule, and what is this, and what solid foods are you doing? And only things that parents would be into.
Well, we are just days away from revealing this year's Sexiest Man Alive, and we have our eyes set on Queen Sugar actor Kofi Siriboe. In addition to playing the loving Ralph Angel on the hit OWN series, you might also remember the handsome actor in the breakout comedy of the summer, Girls Trip. Well, Kofi, definitely rooting for you for Sexiest Man Alive. Can't wait for the official reveal next week. And those are your Star Treks for today.
All right, guys, still ahead. Who should be People's Sexiest Man Alive this year? We've got some stars to cast their own votes. Plus, we go inside Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's 70-year royal romance. But first,
it's time for
Oh, Snap! Mommy's Little Surfer. That's professional surfer Bethany Hamilton teaching her 2-year-old son Toby to hang 10 on Thursday. Maybe in hopes that he'll follow in her footsteps. Who knows? But what a beautiful moment between those two. And by the way, look at that gorgeous beach in the background.
I know,
Not
I
too
wish
bad.
I was there right now. Well, Candy and Coco. That's Kourtney Kardashian's kids jumping for joy in front of, yes, a nude photo of their auntie, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe has a little one of her own on the way, but it is clear she's still in fun aunt mode. I mean, check out that pillow slide.
That is epic.
Looks like 7-year-old Mason and 5-year-old Penelope are having a
I
ball.
just want to sleep on that thing.
I
That's so
know.
comfy looking. Real Housewives of Atlanta's Kim Zolciak shared this photo of her son, Cash, rash, smooching the pooch that bit him back in April. Kim says she's hoping to help others with pet-related injuries by sharing her son's experience, who she called in her caption, the strongest little boy I know. I'm glad he's doing better.
Well, life's a beach for Lisa Rinna and her husband, Harry Hamlin. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star showed off her fit physique in a sizzling purple one-piece, celebrating Throwback Thursday with the caption, "With my main man in Malibu." How romantic. Well, it's that time of year again. We've all been waiting to see who will be named this year's Sexiest Man Alive. But great news, everyone. The wait is almost over. In honor of next week's official reveal, we've been asking celebrities to name their choice for the coveted Sexiest Man title, and their answers may surprise you.
Nick Swisher is my choice for Sexiest Man Alive. And if he doesn't get it, I would say Jason Momoa really deserves it because, hot damn.
Well, who do you think? It's my husband. I look every single year, but you never put my husband in it, and everyone knows he's the hottest athlete.
Vote for me just because I think it's going to be so random. That would be amazing. I think that would be hilarious to see me on the cover going, I am the sexiest man alive, which I know for a fact I am not.
My husband, Joshua Smatter, because he's so cute, you guys. I'm a newlywed. Don't judge me.
Tom Bergeron, you're the host of the best show on TV. Lisa Lampanelli needs you, biatch.
All about me for what's it called?
Sexiest Man Alive.
Yes.
Bill Nye for Sexiest Man Alive.
Yeah, let's go Josh.
If it's
Brolin.
not Taylor, it's Brolin.
Josh, you're my sexiest man alive.
I said, Josh,
There you go.
You're my sexiest man alive.
Done it. Joe?
I'm going to go Jeff Bridges. Jeff, you're my sexiest man alive.
Andrew Dean, I love you. It has to be Ryan Reynolds because he is the sexiest man alive, and I don't know if there's any other reason besides he's just the sexiest man alive.
Jolo Cicero. Check him out.
Probably my old roommate, Justin Baldoni from Jane the Virgin. That dude is obnoxiously good looking.
My man Jeremy right here in the skinny suit. The man in the skinny suit's getting all the ladies. I'm just the man next to the man. I mean, I'm picking up his sloppy seconds. I'm just saying.
And this week's People cover story goes behind palace doors for a peek inside Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's royal romance that has endured for 70 years. Really amazing stuff. Joining me now with all the details is our royal correspondent, Imogen Lloyd-Webber. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
70 years is incredible. The Queen and Prince Philip have been married that long this November, but they have known each other for even longer, obviously. How and when did the whole relationship begin? It goes way back.
Yeah. Then Princess Elizabeth was just 13 years old when she met Prince Philip. He was an 18-year-old Royal Navy cadet, and for her, it was love at first sight. Obviously not so much for him. Fast forward to when the princess was 21, the couple got married. The wedding took place on November the 20th, 1947, and was the first fairy tale royal event since the end of World War II.
And that footage is so amazing to look back.
Yeah, they quickly had their first two children, Charles and Anne.
All right, now how did their royal duties evolve over time from the wedding up until present day? There's been a huge journey here.
Their lives completely changed in 1952 when Princess Elizabeth's father, King George VI, died, and she ascended the throne at age just 25. Wow. Prince Philip had to adjust to life as the Queen's consort, in public always having to be a few paces behind his wife. As monarch, the Queen reigns but doesn't rule, Jeremy. She has multiple ceremonial and constitutional duties as head of state, such as the opening of Parliament. The Queen acts as focus for national unity, identity and pride, and puts a spotlight on good causes. The royal family as a whole exists to support the Queen.
Yeah, as we've seen.
Yeah, monarchy to survive has to adapt over time. After Princess Diana, it definitely became more approachable and accessible than ever before. If you think about that James Bond skit that the Queen did for the 2012 Olympics, remember?
Right.
That would have been unthinkable for much of her reign.
Right, yeah, that was a very big deal, right?
It was,
of course. It's
jumping out of the plane.
Something new, yeah. Queen Elizabeth is now 91 years old, Prince Philip 96 years old. They're slowing down and relinquishing many of their long-held duties. Walk us through some of the sort of tasks that they are now passing on to the next generation.
We've been talking about this for some time, Jeremy. A former household staffer tells People about the royal couple, quote, "They are just finding their own pace." The Queen won't abdicate, but she's handing an increasing number of her responsibilities to the younger generations. There's no more long-haul travel, for instance. And we saw Prince Harry this week at the Field of Remembrance alone. It's an event that he used to do with his grandfather, Prince Philip, who officially retired this year.
He is 96.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. Now, significantly, the Queen this Sunday, Remembrance Sunday, won't be laying a wreath at the Cenotaph, the UK's official national war memorial. Remembrance Sunday is the UK and Commonwealth's version of Veterans Day. It commemorates the contribution of British and Commonwealth military and civilian servicemen and women in the two world wars and later conflicts. The Queen and Prince Philip will observe proceedings from a nearby balcony, and Prince Charles, for the first time, will lay the wreath, watched by his mother.
So it's a historic day today to be able to see that. Now, it might not sound like much, but all of this is really a big deal. What is the significance of these changes?
This is a real symbolic moment in the Queen's reign, handing over this significant, somber responsibility to her son. The Queen is doing everything she can to ease the nation to the inevitable day when King Charles III ascends the throne. It will still be a shock for the world, however. The Queen has been a stabilising force for, I would say, the whole world for decades. Most of us have never known life without her.
Yeah, it's really true. Now, this week isn't all business for the royal family. Prince William, Prince Harry both have fun outings planned for tomorrow as well. Tell us about those.
Yeah, Prince Harry, as patron of the Rugby Football Union, will attend the England versus Argentina rugby match at Twickenham in London on Saturday, the 11th of November. There's some charitable work mixed in there, but he's a vociferous supporter of the England team, so he'll enjoy the day out. Yeah. Not to be outdone by his little brother, Prince William, who is patron of the Welsh Rugby Union, will attend the Wales versus Australia match in Cardiff, Wales. And yes, Jeremy, the princes support opposing rugby teams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they
The feud.
The feud. They sit in the stands, but in the posh seats. And some socialising has been known to go on with the teams. Don't forget, the prince's first cousin, Zara Tindall, is married to Mike Tindall, who at one point captained the England rugby team.
The whole family tree there that I have on memory and my huge fandom of rugby. Thank you so much, Imogen. It's good to talk to you. Thanks for all those details. For more insider scoop on Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's 70-year love story, pick up this week's copy of People today.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
Well, guys, one of the most buzzed about movies of the fall, Murder on the Orient Express, hits theaters today. The mysterious film features performances from Hollywood icons like Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz, Michelle Pfeiffer, but one A-lister in particular seemed to stick out among the star-studded cast, the one and only Dame Judi Dench, and here's why.
I actually was myself sort of taken aback by the emotion. I didn't expect it. I just sort of, hi, this is Judi Dench, and just sort of to cry.
Michelle was the first one to come up the steps because I think she was a bit embarrassed about whatever had happened. And I said, what's wrong? She said, I just met Judi Dench.
Her affectionate name for me was, she would say, come here, fatty. Come, fatty. And I was like, hey, Judy.
I feel like I'm being wet for you. So accessible, so warm, so humble, funny, a little bit devilish, very cheeky, and she's kind of perfect.
Come now, fatty.
I didn't know where you were gonna go.
You're being beckoned by the Dame.
It was the first day, Monday morning, and there they are. And I can see people, the body language. People are going up to Judy and curtsying, and the blokes are nodding and everything. And Judy's looking like 70 years old because when she starts something, she's always terrified.
The first day I ever met her, I went up to her in the makeup trailer and I said to her, Dame Judi Dench, more like, damn Judi Dench. And that was it. That was it. You were there. You saw what happened. It was electric.
History.
She turned around and I saw those Philomena eyes and I was just like, this was meant to be.
A recent high school graduate is helping bring smiles to veterans' faces one care package at a time. Amelia Day and her team of volunteers are working with VA hospitals across the country, providing basic necessities through her project, Operation Veteran Smiles. Amelia joins us today. Thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for joining us. So, Amelia, you made a trip to the hospital with your dad, who is now a fully recovered veteran, and noticed other veterans were suffering from injuries. What happened that day that made you want to launch this initiative?
Well, you see, veterans have a very soft spot in my heart. They mean a lot to me. And when I went to that VA hospital and saw how a lot of our veterans were alone and they didn't have anybody there to support them, I decided that I needed to go do something. So I decided to make it simple and start with cards. And then after the first delivery of cards, I noticed that a lot of them didn't have basic hygiene items. So I thought making care packages with those items would be very easy, and it actually is. And now it's just exploded into this incredible item, or this incredible thing to do with our veterans.
Yeah, so you make these care packages. What does each care package include?
They usually include a toothbrush, toothpaste, Kleenex, shampoos, conditioners, soaps, as well as playing cards is one of our bigger items that we put in.
Yeah, I love that you include cards as well, because that's always a fun thing to play. You've mentioned veterans have a special place in your heart because not only is your dad a veteran, both of your granddads are also veterans. You've shared an amazing story about your very first delivery with Operation Veteran Smiles. Can you tell us about that?
Of course. Well, you see, on that first delivery, it was a cold, rainy day in January, and while we were leaving, me and my sisters, a veteran came up to us, and he was in his wheelchair, and he was from Vietnam, and he was just sobbing and saying, "Thank you so much for these cards." And, you know, for a card for you and me, we take it for granted every day. We get one for Christmas or our birthdays, and we just don't think much about it. But for them, it means a lot because it means that somebody took the time out of their day to create them their own artwork. And so it was just amazing to see how he was so thankful about something that I think is so small.
It's so great. And of course, the holidays are just around the corner. In the past, you brought special presents and care packages to these VA hospitals. What do you have planned for Operation Veteran Smiles this holiday season and for the future of your projects?
Well, OVS, or Operation Veteran Smiles, is currently in 15 states now, and so I would like to see that number grow and see more people get involved. And I would love to see people buying care packages for these veterans for the holiday as a Christmas gift. And you can actually do that at the 4-H website. It's 4h.org/OVS, and you can go and purchase an item. And you can also go and find the how-to manual about how you can bring OVS to your hometown and get them involved in Operation Veteran Smiles and show them how to spread the Christmas spirit.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Amelia, for everything that you're doing, and thank you for joining us today.
All right, guys.
All right, let's check in with Facebook Live one last time. So with Veterans Day coming up tomorrow, we're asking you guys, what veteran will you be celebrating?
All right, Brianne says, my grandfather, a World War II and Korean War vet who is 90 and still an active fire policeman in our community.
Wow. Gabrielle giving a shout out to Mr. Meller. She says he was a prisoner of war and an incredible man, 93 years old and still going. He is an inspiration. And Suzanne says, my dad, who was a World War II fighter pilot.
Oh, wow. Brenda says, happy Veterans Day to my son, Justin. And Martha says, I will be celebrating my dad's service, grandmother's service, and all those served. Wow, full family. My grandfather, James Swartz, and my other grandfather, Thomas Boardwine, both served as well.
I have a few uncles, so.
Yeah, lots of family, lots of
much.
some high school friends. There you go. So, yeah, celebrate Veterans Day this weekend and let people know that you appreciate their service. Coming up next week, actress Kate Bosworth shares what it's like playing an Army wife in her new show, The Long Road Home. Plus, we're talking to child star Jacob Tremblay about his new movie, Wonder. It's amazing, guys, and it premieres next week.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from American Horror Stories' Cheyenne Jackson. Have a good weekend.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne Jackson, and this is One Last Thing. The last time I got scared was actually just a few weeks ago. I was home alone with the kids. It was about 2 in the morning. I was I woke up to searchlights over the house, helicopter searchlights, and that has never happened. I live in the Hollywood Hills, and it doesn't happen up very, very often. And you could hear on the loudspeaker, they were like, and the light, and I just thought somebody was running wild in the woods, and they were searching for somebody, and my heart was racing, and I was there alone with my kids, and you know, your imagination gets the best of you. It turns out it was just a big party down the street that they were trying to break up, but I didn't know that till the morning. I may have been standing on the deck holding a knife, and I'm not even kidding. My last splurge was, well, we are in the process of buying a new house, so that's definitely a splurge. I would say that. The last time I was starstruck was about 3 hours ago when I met Dan Rather. He walked in the room and he was like, hello. And we all were like, oh.